Family in Baltimore need your help finding this man. He's 71 years old. Dennis Siegel was last seen in Northwest Baltimore on Ford's Lane last Friday. He was seen driving a silver 2006 Chevy Cobalt with Maryland tags. If you see this man, just call 911.
A festival for women in Baltimore will feature the founder of the Me Too movement. Tarana Burke will speak at the Women of the World Baltimore Festival on April 28th. She will participate in the event's opening keynote session as well. Burke will speak about those dealing with sexual harassment. Time now for another check of our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Lynette Charles.
All right, Ashley, we'll start you out with satellite and radar. Not a whole lot going on this morning. We'll definitely take that as we have dried out. We'll continue that dry pattern as we go through the rest of today. Not unless you're in the mountains and you might see some snow there as we will continue with that upslope flow across that area. But we will have a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the day. Temperatures this morning, oh yes, check them out. Much different from yesterday. We are in the 30s and we are still above average though, but we're just a bit cooler than what we were yesterday at this time. So it's 36 degrees right now in Eldersburg. As we slide over towards Millersville, that temperature is coming in at 41. These numbers that are in the 40s this morning, that's pretty much where our high temperature should be for this time of the year. It's 39 in Preston. Look at the winds gusting up to about 20-25 miles an hour back off to the north and west. And as the kids head out to the bus stop, this is what you can expect. Once again, make sure they do have that warm coat this morning. And as they go to activities after school today, temperatures are going to be right around 40. Now let's go check the traffic with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. Use caution crossing the Tatings Memorial Bridge and the Tatings Memorial Bridge. There are wind advisories issued for these stretches. Here in Baltimore County, nothing to worry about on the Harrisburg Expressway. Clear conditions from the Pennsylvania state line to York Road and down to 695. That stretch taking the normal 21 minutes. The JFX also clear. No problems getting through the tunnels, and the Beltway also up to speed from Parkville to Towson and from Pikesville down to Baltimore National Pike. High speeds in Ellicott City on Interstate 70. Columbia Pike also nice and clear. And if you're heading out in Anne Arundel County, nothing to worry about on Route 50 or I-97 headed into Annapolis.
Okay, Lauren, thanks very much. It's 5:11 right now. One of the most disturbing sentencings in recent memory. Victims just keep coming forward talking about the disgraced gymnastics doctor, Larry Nassar.
Yeah, this morning we're going to hear from more of his victims, including the measures that one athlete went to avoid him.
Plus, as lawmakers continue to debate the future of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, we're going to hear from some so-called dreamers who live in Maryland. It is 5:11 right now. Welcome back in. It's 5:14. There are 3 more victims left to speak today in the sentencing of the disgraced Michigan sports doctor Larry Nassar.
Yesterday, one of his victims, former gymnast Maddie Larson, says she was so desperate to avoid Nassar that she tried to give herself a concussion by banging her head against the tub, making it look like she had slipped. Nassar is accused of sexually assaulting more than 140 young athletes. Another victim, Emily Morales, told Nassar she wanted to forgive him, asked for an apology, and even brought him to tears.
Although you have hurt me, I want to forgive you and feel closure and move on to healing in my life. I want you to apologize to me right here. I want to forgive you, but I also want to hear you tell me that you regret all the hurting you caused. Thank you.
Nassar has already been sentenced to 60 years in prison. For child porn charges, he faces a minimum sentence of 25 to 40 years in this case.
He said he didn't want to listen to that anymore, and the judge said, nope. You're going to sit here and listen to every single one of them. 5:15 right now, 2 teenagers are dead. 18 more hurt after a shooting at a Kentucky high school yesterday. Police say a 15-year-old male student walked into Marshall County High School in the rural part of western Kentucky, opened fire just as students were arriving for class. He survived and was arrested at the scene, but 2 15-year-olds, Bailey Holt and Preston Cope, died after that shooting. 5 of the injured victims are still in critical condition this morning.
5:15, new images this morning of a Milwaukee hospital patient dumped on the street. Take a look at what's been shared hundreds of times online. A homeless man still wearing a hospital gown is seen sitting on a cold, wet sidewalk. The hospital says they have since suspended the individuals involved pending an investigation and hope to create a task force so this doesn't happen again. Now, you'll remember the University of Maryland Midtown campus in Baltimore was recently accused of patient dumping, which has resulted in a discussion on hospital practices and how they treat their patients.
Got some new video of people accused of posting anti-immigration flyers around American University in Washington. Right now, police are searching for 2 suspects. Officials say those flyers were posted Sunday and have been attributed to a neo-Nazi organization. According to police, the flyers have the message that no means no, hashtag my borders, my choice, with a map of the United States. American University's president says the school will not tolerate hateful anti-immigration messages. Meantime, even though the government is back open, the so-called DACA program continues to be a hot topic. The future for the group known as Dreamers, people who were brought to this country illegally by their parents when they were children, remains uncertain, with the vote looming on Capitol Hill. These people range in age now from 15 years old to 36. They arrived illegally here with a chance, they hoped, of permanent legal residency. We spoke with a few of those who live in Maryland.
We just need to fix it so we can just have one system for all.
They need to pass a Clean Dream Act, a permanent solution. Right now we are in limbo.
One of them said that President Trump decided to do away with the DACA program. Dreamers are worried about losing their identities as Americans.
5:17 this morning, Maryland wants to help the U.S. Virgin Islands. The state will be sending a team of mental health professionals to provide stress management resources and support to those who have been working around the clock since several hurricanes hit in September. The 17-person team will focus on helping workers cope with stress. The group will travel throughout the islands of St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. They are scheduled to return on or before Valentine's Day. Lynette?
All right, Ashley, we'll start you out with temperatures this morning. Here we go, as these numbers are in the upper 30s. So plenty of 39s. We see this around Perry Hall, all the way over towards Lochern this morning, Catonsville, Owings Mills. Good morning. You're at 38 degrees. Look at the 40s we're seeing in Rosedale, at the Inner Harbor, Arbutus, even around Hamden this morning as well. Our wider view takes us over towards Tawnytown with that temperature coming in right around 35 degrees. More of the same in Manchester this morning. Good morning, Reisterstown. You're at 37 degrees, along with Sykesville, 36 in Glenelg this morning. And then we head to the Eastern Shore around Cecilton, Chestertown, both coming in at 38. And good morning, Centerville. You're at 39. Our last view starts you over the coldest spot, right? Deep Creek, the mountains, dealing with some flurry action there around West Virginia as well. And then the opposite, the ocean, OC coming in right around 44 degrees this morning. So we are dealing with temperatures that are much cooler when compared to yesterday, but still well above average, because our highs now should really be where our lows are once again. For today, we are going to continue with the wind. Yesterday it was a bit gusty out there. Today it will be breezy. Right now we're looking at sustained winds out of the west. You can see Deep Creek, northwest. You can see in some spots at about 12 miles an hour there. 16 in Frederick, 13 in Hagerstown. We get a little lower as we come close to Annapolis, coming in right around 8, and 6 is Baltimore, Easton, and also Patuxent River at this point. Now the radar and satellite composite not picking up on a whole lot for us. We still do see again some light snow showers coming in here again around West Virginia. We can see it around Pennsylvania, and the further to the north you go, they're still dealing with a little bit of mixing up there. Now this is what we have at the surface. So that cold front number 1 has moved through. We will get another shot at some colder air as we head towards tomorrow, as that cold front back there across the Great Lakes will continue to swoop through as we head more towards this evening. Behind the first cold front, though, the breezy conditions still continue, and ABC2's most accurate futurecast not picking up on a whole lot for today. So we will have some sun out there, but we will also have some clouds mixing in as well. As we go through the rest of today, this is how we day plan. Don't forget the sunglasses. You will need those for today. Temperatures still stay a little bit above average. That high coming in right around 45 degrees for today. And there's that 7-day forecast, as we will get more seasonal by tomorrow, but then bump back up to the 50s by the weekend. Let's get a check of the traffic with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. If you're traveling in Baltimore, beware of a crash just reported on North Charles Street. It's at East 21st Street. Here's the speed check into the city. No delays on 95 from Harford County or Howard County into Baltimore. 83 also clear, showing a normal 7-minute drive from Northern Parkway to Fayette Street. The Beltway shaping up nicely here in Pikesville, 55 miles per hour on the outer loop at Green Spring Avenue. And from 795 to 70, you're looking at a normal 7-minute trip. Here's a live drive in Ellicott City. We're off to a very quiet start here on Interstate 70. Traveling eastbound from Route 32 to the Beltway, you're looking at a 10-minute drive. Drive time's also clear heading to BWI. 295 and 195 are both in the green. 97 and Route 50 also delay free headed into Annapolis. Ashley, Christian.
All right, Lauren, thank you. It's 5:21. Everyone has a different routine in the morning. Some of you may start by going for a run. Maybe you need a big breakfast before you head out the door.
How about both? We've got a news story. How about that video right there?
Running with donuts?
A challenge Krispy Kreme is putting out for you to try. It's 5:21 on your Wednesday.
Donuts and coffee are a great way to start any morning off, but what about donuts and running a few miles?
Like at the same time, apparently.
Oh, at the same time?
At the same time. Thousands of people are going to participate in this task next month in North Carolina. Krispy Kreme Challenge set for February 3rd. It is not easy. Here's what I'm looking behind these words. These people are actually doing it there. Yep, they're eating Krispy Kreme donuts. You got to eat a dozen Krispy Kreme donuts while running 5 miles. Now you can sign up as a casual runner. If you don't finish the donuts, you can take the leftovers home. But yeah, this is a big deal. Krispy Kreme, I believe, is headquartered in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a town which can smell like Krispy Kreme donuts for much of the day.
We
Look
need
at
some
that.
Krispy Kreme this morning.
Take the challenge.
In today's Tech Bites, Apple's smart speaker available soon.
You can pre-order the HomePod starting Friday. The release date will be February 9th.
Apple CEO Tim Cook says its sound quality will be what sets it apart from its competitors.
KFC is giving its fried chicken some new wings. Boxes for its new chicken wings can be turned into a drone.
They're calling it the Kentucky Flying Object, or KFO, but they'll only be available tomorrow and Friday in India.
No.
It's starting to sound like Amazon's Alexa is a fan of the Eagles.
Yeah, here's her response to who do you think will win the Super Bowl?
I'm flying with the Eagles on this one because of their relentless offense. And the
Users are getting that response all over the country, even in Massachusetts.
It's not too late, New England, to return that Alexa you got for Christmas.
It's gone.
Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Office Depot Office Max.
Running a business is not for the faint of heart. Luckily, Office Depot Office Max is here to take care of you.
Taking care of business.
With print services. Done right, on time, guaranteed. Expert tech support. This week at Office Depot Office Max, save big on tax software for your business. Plus, let us help you manage your business finances at OfficeDepot.com/BizBox.
Taking care of business. When you have a cold, stuff happens. Shut down cold symptoms fast with maximum strength Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
Manolo, you're so cold. Come in. What's wrong?
It's dry.
Your scalp might get dry in the winter too. Try Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care. It nourishes the scalp and keeps you up to 100% flake-free. Head & Shoulders Dry Scalp Care.
You're watching the station that works for you. Now, Good Morning Maryland.
Okay, welcome back in. Some of the top stories we're following for you. The trial in federal court for the 2 former members of the Baltimore City Police Gun Trace Task Force resumes tomorrow. They've got an off day today. Tuesday, they had opening statements in the trial for Detectives Daniel Herschel and Marcus Taylor, and then the prosecution went to work. The first witness, Detective Maurice Ward, he is another one of the 8 former members of the Gun Trace Task Force indicted last year on corruption charges. Ward testified for the prosecution, and he had a lot to say. We'll talk about that in the 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Maryland.
One of the main sponsors behind the push to get Maryland workers paid sick leave is calling for a short delay. Senator Thomas Middleton introduced an emergency bill to keep the state from enforcing the law until the middle of April. The bill is scheduled for a hearing this afternoon. Lawmakers passed a paid sick leave bill last year. Governor Hogan vetoed it, but this month legislators overrode that veto. The law is set to go into effect on February 11th.
And the Preakness now just a few months away, and Delegate Pat McDonough wants some changes for the race. Instead of remodeling Pimlico, Delegate McDonough is calling for the building of a brand new facility in Baltimore County, with private funding being used to help with that. ABC 2 News' Cassie Carlisle will have more on that story coming up in the 6 o'clock hour as well. But for now, it is 5:31 on this Wednesday. Good Morning Maryland. I'm Christian Schaefer.
And I'm Ashley James. We'll get to those stories in just a moment, but first we want to check in with Chief Meteorologist Lynette Charles. Lynette, I could really tell that wind picked up later in the afternoon yesterday. Is that still an issue today?
Yes, so we're still going to be breezy today. That front's moved through, and we're going to continue with temperatures chilling down a bit as well. So this morning, that temperature in Davisonville, Siegel coming in right around 43 degrees. In Jessup, we're at 42. And you can see the winds out of the west at about 12 miles an hour. That's going to be the name of the game as we go through the rest of today. We'll have gusts today up to about 25, 30 miles an hour. And then as we head over towards Pikesville this morning, that temperature is coming in right around 41 degrees right now. Now that 41, yes, that's where we should be for our high temperature now for this time of the year. But we're not going to budge all that much from that 41 degrees as we go throughout the day today. I have a high temperature coming in right around 45 degrees. So still staying a little bit above average, but much cooler than what we were yesterday. And we will have plenty of sunshine mixing with some clouds as the day goes along. Now let's go to check the traffic with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. A crash has just been reported on 95 in Howard County. It's southbound past Interstate 195. The right shoulder is blocked. If you're traveling in Baltimore, beware of an accident on North Charles Street at East 21st Street. There are no delays on the JFX into the city. The tunnels are also up to speed and the Beltway shaping up nicely here at Liberty Road. Traveling from 795 to 95 will take just 11 minutes and the inner loop is wide open from Catonsville to Liberty Road and up through Towson. Taking a look in Ellicott City, high speeds on Interstate 70. All is clear also in Anne Arundel County on 97 and Route 50. Ashley Christian.
All right, Lauren, thank you. It's 5:32. A group of burglars has an entire county on edge. Baltimore County police believe this one group of crooks is responsible for at least 18 break-ins over the past 4 months.
People want to know what is being done to catch them, so they held a community meeting last night, well attended, to talk about the strategy. ABC 2 News' Megan Knight is in the newsroom with that story. Megan, people are really convinced that these burglars are being pretty strategic about the homes that they target.
Yeah, that's right, Christian. You know, we talked to a few of the neighbors who live in the communities where these break-ins have been happening since October. They believe that these criminals are targeting large, secluded homes, and they know when the best time to strike is. And when they do get inside the homes, they've been taking mostly jewelry and cash, but in a couple of instances, they've actually taken entire safes out of the houses. So hundreds came out last night for a community meeting with Baltimore County Police. Of course, police wouldn't give us all their tactics so as not to tip off these burglars, but they did assure the people there that they are stepping up their patrols, which neighbors told us they have been seeing over the last few months.
Friday evening, we heard the helicopters and everything around, and she let us know what was going on, and I think it's too close.
I've been there 15 years, and very scary. I had one of my dogs was with me when I went. The other was in a crate, but I always feel so safe there. It just was life-changing.
Yeah, certainly unnerving for the folks who live in these communities. Now, they are working to keep each other informed about the latest break-ins that happen and also the investigation into finding these burglars through social media pages and also email chains. But so far, Christian and Ashley, police have not made any arrests in connection to these burglars.
ABC 2's Megan Knight live in the newsroom. Thanks very much for that. Meantime, parents are outraged about violence at Perry Hall High School. Last week, a student was arrested after a fight at the school was caught on camera.
Parents expressed their frustrations at last night's school board meeting. ABC 2 News' Chanel Perriman is live this morning outside of Perry Hall High School. So, Chanel, what did some of the parents have to say?
Ashley, as you can imagine, many parents were frustrated and upset with what happened here last week at Perry Hall High School. And many are asking for more to be done to make sure their kids are safe. And they're also asking for transparency from school officials. Last week, this video went viral showing a fight at the school. And in the video, you can see a weapon that has been identified as an airsoft weapon. 18-year-old Darren Keith Bennett Jr. was arrested and later released in connection to this incident. Now, his attorney says he's a leader on campus, captain on the football team, and a good student who made a bad judgment. But many parents are still upset with this incident. Dozens showed up to last night's board meeting to express their concerns, and many calling for things like stricter enforcement of policies and even enforcing residency requirements. Tammy Larkin is a parent of a former student who graduated in 2016 and who was there during a shooting at the school years ago. Now, she has a son now who's entering into Perry Hall next year and is concerned for his safety.
We need a stricter enforcement of the policies that are on the books, and we need to, as parents, be assured that when our kids come to school, that they are safe. No mother, no father, no teacher should be put in a situation where they feel that they or their children are not safe.
No word yet on what changes, if any, will be made following last night's meeting, but the next school board meeting is set for about 2 weeks. Live in Baltimore County, Chanel Perriman, ABC 2 News.
All right, Chanel, thank you. It is 5:36, a new meal going to new heights.
Okay, KFC's got something called the limited edition dinner. They're saying it can, see if you'll fly with it. We'll find out.
Plus, he is no longer breaking tackles, but instead is breaking out a new business venture, what former Raven Justin Forsett is so excited about. We'll have those stories coming up. You're watching Good Morning Maryland.
Okay, it is 5:39. You got families in one country going to enjoy their bucket of chicken from KFC a little differently.
It is a little different. Yeah. India's Kentucky Fried Chicken announced a drone box to hold their food. Okay, so here's a look at what they're calling KFO, the Kentucky Flying Object. The drone is made up of boxes of the chain's smoky grilled wings. For those who receive these, there are instructions online explaining how to disassemble and then rebuild the drone that has a Bluetooth connection, and you can sync it with your phone to use it as a controller. So KFC only doing this in India Thursday and Friday.
So the
box,
we can
just look at it.
the box that the chicken comes in turns into a drone?
It's a drone. Yeah.
I don't think I could.
Kentucky Flying Object.
I couldn't make that.
I say skip the drone. I'll just take the chicken.
I'll take the chicken, yeah. That's fine.
Lynette?
Wow. All right, guys. Let's take a look at what's going on this morning as we'll start you out with some temperatures. And these numbers are in the upper 30s, mid-30s around Whiteford this morning. And look at Westminster coming in right around 34 degrees. In Perry Hall, we're at 38 degrees right now. Ellicott City's at 37, along with Fredericktown. And then we head towards Rock Hall, 40 degrees there, 38 in Tuckahoe. And St. Michael's, you're coming in at 39 degrees this morning. Middletown, you're at 36. Radar and satellite composite, not picking up on a whole lot. We will have a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout the day, staying on the dry side of things. And this is what we can expect. Again, it will be breezy today. High temperatures coming in right around 45 degrees. It's just a little bit above average. Let's get a check of the traffic now with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. An update for you on a crash on 95. It involves a box truck. This happened southbound right near Interstate 195. The truck crossed the median into the northbound lane. So the left northbound lane is blocked. Both southbound shoulders are blocked. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for updates. If you're traveling in Baltimore, beware of a crash on North Charles Street at East 21st Street. No delays on the JFX. The tunnels are clear. The Beltway shaping up nicely here on the west side. In Howard County, nothing to worry about on Interstate 70 through Ellicott City. Drive times also show no problems in Anne Arundel County. Route 50 and 997 are both in the green. Ashley Christian?
All right, Lauren, thank you. 5:41, we are getting closer to Super Bowl Sunday, and you know what that means? Plenty of commercials to talk about.
High-priced commercials to talk about, but coming up at 6, why the NFL says there's an ad from a veterans group that will not be seen. That decision sparking some backlash. We'll get to that story in the 6 o'clock hour of Good Morning Maryland.
5:45 new this morning. If you are worried about your finances, you're not alone. A new study says more Americans have anxiety about their bank accounts instead of feeling optimistic. According to GoBankingRates.com, 28% feel anxious, while 19% have a positive outlook on their finances. The study also says many Americans believe they will make more money in 2018, but expect their expenses to stay the same. New this morning, a special surprise for students waiting to find out if they've been accepted into the University of Maryland.
It's pretty cool. Representatives, including members of the band and Terps mascot, took a cross-country trip to personally deliver acceptance letters to the students' doorsteps. University sharing this video on Twitter yesterday.
Hi, Daniel. Congratulations. You're admitted to the University of Maryland. Really? Yes, really.
I would like to know if Daniel had a heads up, because he was just dressed to the nines.
He was ready to go, yeah. They're all looking very well made up and ready. And by the way, congratulations to what will now become